Everyone, I am at Beeks Place here in Cleveland National Forest in Southern California. I apologize for all of the wind. I have a mic on here, but the wind is blowing probably 40 miles an hour. Blew my hat off, almost blew me down a few times. But anyway, the hike is about 15.5 miles out and back, and you come up to the scenic viewpoint in these old ruins, which is Beeks Place, Beeks' old cabin, and you're right on the saddle, so the wind whips, but you can see Angeles National Forest, San Bernardino's. It's a really pretty spot, and I'll show you what that looks like in a bit. If you go to HikingGuy.com, I have a full web page that has maps and parking info and all of that fun stuff. But otherwise, in this video, I will show you the turn-by-turn directions. And if you find the video helpful as you're watching, if you're on YouTube, if you could do me a big favor and click the little thumbs up, that will help other people find this video, hopefully know what to expect, do the hike safely, and all of that fun stuff. It's an easy way to pass it on. All right, guys, let me show you the turn-by-turn directions.
All right, so the hike starts at the end of Black Star Canyon Road. There's a big parking area. It does get full. You have a lot of people hiking to the falls and also doing mountain bike rides and different fitness things, but just a heads up, but usually there's a lot of parking here. And you're just gonna go through the gate and start hiking down the wide dirt road here. Now it's kind of, what's the word, boring maybe? You're gonna walk straight, you're gonna avoid any side trails till you get to the end, and you're gonna see actually a sign for Beeks Place to the right, as well as the falls, and we're gonna continue up here. Now the trail is a big wide dirt trail like this for most of the way. Here you can see we're leaving the OC Park and entering Cleveland National Forest. At this junction here, up to that gated road, we're gonna go straight. And in this section, there are a lot of different gated off private properties like this. They're all very well marked because this is a very popular trail for people going to the falls. So you don't really have to worry about wandering off the trail. You just stay on this main road, avoid the electric fences and warning signs, and you should be fine. You're gonna cross a couple of bridges as you come up here. Not a big deal, but you're just gonna go across them, across the creek. And then once you cross over the last bridge, the trail kind of winds up Black Star Canyon. You start to get into a little bit more of a wilderness area away from some of the more developed areas on the hike. Now this is an important turn. To the right, you have the trail down to the falls, and to the left, we have the trail up to Beeks Place. So we're gonna leave the falls behind and start the first kind of real climb of the day. And the climb is gradual. It's on this dirt road, like I mentioned before. You'll see the trail you came up on down there. And it's pretty mellow. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but because it is a road and it's well graded, you're gonna have not so tough a time with it. Up there you can see, I think, Pleasant's Peak up there with the radio antennas. Eventually you're gonna be able to see a little white dome, which is the Doppler radar dome, and that's right above Beeks Place, and that's kind of a good landmark to look out for as we get there, get towards there. This is the Mariposa Reserve sign. The Mariposa Reserve is a small reserve nestled in the middle of Cleveland National Forest, and we're gonna go straight here. It's named after the Mariposa lily, not necessarily the butterfly, although I'm sure there's butterflies here. And right after that, if you look down to the right, you're gonna see the top of Black Star Canyon Falls. Now there's a trail down to the top. There's not an easy way to get from the top to the bottom. I put a waypoint in the map GPX file, so if you want to take that trail down, you can. It's definitely nothing special, but you can definitely go down there if you'd like. Then after the top of the climb, you kind of come down a little. It's a little downhill, and this is definitely worth checking out. This little trail here off to the right brings you into a little Native American settlement. People think it was temporary. Nobody really knows, of course, but there are these little grinding rocks, these little mortar holes here where they used to grind acorns and prepare their food. And there's a bunch of them all over the rocks here. It's definitely worth looking around. And if you kind of go around to the other side, there's some nice little viewpoint areas over here. This is definitely worth a side trip, I think, if you're coming up here. Really neat area. And of course, there's history of friction between the native peoples here and the settlers. And I have all of that history on the article, or in the article on the website, so check that out. But when you're done in the settlement, you just come back to the main Black Star Canyon Road, make the right, and keep hiking past this area, which once was Hidden Valley Ranch. And this area is kind of neat. There's a little memorial there to somebody. This area is kind of neat because it's sort of like a hidden pasture, hidden fields in here. You can imagine how it was like living here years and years ago with some cattle and just nothing else. And after that, we're going to leave the reserve. It's maintained by the Wildlands Conservancy. I have some information on that in the article too. And once you leave, you're going to start climbing up for the last climb of the day, and you'll be able to see up there the radio tower and catch a glimpse of Beeks Place as you hike up here, up this hill. And again, the hill is pretty much the same as it was before. Avoid this little side trail off to the left. And there's some smaller use trails that go off of this main Black Star Canyon Road. You're going to stay on Black Star Canyon Road the whole way. So if you're on a small trail, you're not in the right place. Here we are at the gated end of Black Star Canyon Road. We're just going to sneak around this. And then right after this, we're going to come up to Main Divide Trail up here. Now, this is the kind of main backbone road through the Santa Anas. It's often open to 4x4s, so just heads up. But from here, you'll be able to see the San Bernardino straight ahead. To the left, Mt Baldy. And then to get to Beeks Place, we're just going to make the right and hike for a minute up here past the gate. There's these steel towers. Some people say they're wind generators. I read that they were fire towers put there in 1941. But you just veer off to the right here off of Main Divide, and then you are in the ruins area. There's a bunch to see in the ruins, and this is actually, it was for sale at some point. I don't know if it still is, but I have the sales brochure in the article as well. You can read about it. It's kind of a pretty good sales brochure, but that's it. And once you're done here, you just head on back the way you came.
So that is it. It's a howly, windy day up here. Now again, if you're watching on YouTube, if you could do me a favor, click the little thumbs up. Thank you in advance for that. I appreciate it a ton. Any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you stick around, I'll show you what this hike looks like on a map. But otherwise, I will see you out in the trails. See you guys.
All right, so from the trailhead, which is right here at the beginning of Black Star Canyon Road, we go down that straight stretch. Here's that sharp turn to the right. Then from here, the road follows the canyon down here. You can see this is the last bridge. You do see these other roads. Some of these are private, or private access at least. But again, it's easy to stay on Black Star Canyon Road. It's basically the biggest road as you come up here. We twist around, and here's the turnoff for the falls. This is the important one. And if you want to do the falls, I have a guide to that on HikingGuy.com. And if you went to the falls, you'd go down here and up to the falls there. But instead, we're going to start the climb. You can see there are some well-graded switchbacks as we climb up all the way here. And then we enter the Mariposa Reserve, which is right around here. I mentioned that spur trail earlier to go down to the top of the falls. That's right here. I just left a GPX waypoint for it. It's not a big trail or anything, but if you are inclined to do it, that's the place to go. The trail starts to head downhill. Here's the native village site. Right past that, this is the hidden ranch area, the abandoned ranch. Then once we get through this flat area, we start the climb again. Climb. Story of my life. Climb till we get up to the ridge here. And eventually we'll gain the main ridge here in the Santa Anas, the backbone ridge, and we get to Main Divide Road. And then here's Beeks Place. And if you want to, you can go, it's about a quarter of a mile up to the Doppler Tower right there. But otherwise, this is your spot. And obviously, when you go back down, if I zoom out here, you might be able to see a little bit better. You're going to get some great views. You can actually see to Catalina on a clear day. I have some pictures of that in the guide as well. You can see down to Newport Beach and down to the coast over there. So, neat hike. Give it a try. It's a long one. Don't let the fact that it's on fire roads put you off. It's still a really fun hike with a nice payoff up top between the ruins and all the views that you get.